How's it going, y'all? Welcome to Three Moon Kennels. I'm Jason. I want to introduce you to Lilly. She's an 11-month-old Chorkie. What in the world is a Chorkie, you might ask? Well, it is the crossbreed between a Yorkshire Terrier and a Chihuahua. So the beautiful thing about these guys is how small they are. It takes up 30 minutes, an hour at the most, maybe a couple of times a day or once a day if that's all you have. Perfect for apartment living to wear it out. These itty bitty legs, so think about it. You walk 1 mile, they're walking 3 miles. Now the cool thing about them is they're hypoallergenic for the most part. And they get that from their Chihuahua side. If they get a lot of the Yorkshire Terrier hair, that's where they're gonna get a little bit of the shedding from. Because all of them are gonna look more like a Yorkshire Terrier. The difference is gonna be in the coat. Some of them's gonna have a longer hair, some of them's gonna have shorter hair. Now the cool thing is that though the Yorkshire Terrier gene is predominant in their overall look, the Chihuahua gets to decide what color they are. So they get to come in many different colors. You can even have a blue one. The most common is gonna be the black and tan. Now as far as health goes, the great thing about crossbreeds is they're kind of void of a lot of the hereditary issues that their purebred parents come from. Now, one thing you do need to watch out for is as they get much older, their dietary changes are gonna need. Like whenever they get 9, 10, 11 years old, it's gonna change quite a bit. And they might get this thing called patellolaxation. And essentially it's where the diet doesn't keep up and their little kneecaps can dislocate. I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite painful. There's also obesity. We have a tendency to spoil these guys, which is where a lot of our issues come from. And aside from that, it's oral problems as well. Because too much wet food gets in there, causes plaque and decay. But on the other side, the dry food is actually pretty good for their teeth and oral health. But at the same time, some of it can't necessarily keep up with the nutritional needs that these little guys may need. Now, as far as temperament goes, you can think about a Yorkshire Terrier and a Chihuahua. You're gonna have your hands full. If you don't know how to deal with a dog, I would suggest either A, hiring a full-time professional to help you, or B, maybe pass on this one until you get a little bit more experience. Because it's gonna take a lot. As far as the Yorkshire Terrier side of it goes, it's fearless. It's gonna get into everything. It's gonna do all kinds of stuff that you really don't want it to do. It's gonna chase and it's gonna agitate other dogs. As far as the Chihuahua goes, it's gonna be fearless. It's gonna be audacious. It's gonna be tenacious. It's gonna really not care about a lot. We think about a pit bull being very aggressive and scary, but the thing is these guys are the pit bulls of the little breed. And that's the reason why it's very important to treat them like a dog and not like a baby. Because we have a tendency to treat little guys like that. And that's why they come out spoiled. They jump all over everybody, they do all the things, and it's just, they can be annoying. Bark at everything, and they're already going to bark at everything. They're like a mini Rottweiler all bundled up, and Pit Bull is just, they're very yappy, they're very guard dog. They shouldn't be with little children because sometimes they would like to pull on their hair and pull on their ears, and these little guys really don't put up with much of that. But giving that and saying that they're fearless and audacious, when it comes to their owners and their handlers, they're kind of sensitive. So if you get very harsh with them, they're gonna shut down and you're gonna create mental barriers that you're gonna have issues getting over later on. And everybody tries to say that they're pretty hard to train. The thing is with the guys like this, you have to understand, they're very wired to be like going. I mean, imagine trying to catch a rat that's running and going everywhere. I mean, you're gonna have to be kind of wiry. So they can almost have an ADHD sense about them. So in order to train them, you gotta do one of two things. Either wait till they're very hungry, so feeding times, or let them run until they completely are out of energy. And whenever they lay down, teach them to lay down. You ready? Sit. Sit. So we've already had breakfast, so let's see. Come. She's such a well-mannered. Her owners did such a good job with her. Come here. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Uh-oh, there it is. So the important thing with these guys is to treat them like they're a dog. Socialize them from 8 weeks on. Desensitize them. Let them know that they're a part of your pack and you're not a part of theirs. Yes, good girl. And from the very start, the rules, boundaries, limitations, and expectations with constant consistency. You're going to have issues with potty training them and doing many other kinds of training with them because the Yorkshire Terrier, for some reason, is just very, I don't know, bullheaded about these things. Lilly, come. Lilly, come. You go, girl, as you are. And essentially, just like any other kind of training, set yourself up for success. If you call her and she doesn't come the first time, don't keep calling her. Give it a minute, give her attention, and then ask her to come. Sit. Since she's already here, I can't say come. Come. Good, come. Good, come. Come. Sit. 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 Good. It's okay to teach them patience, especially if they're 11 months old. She ought to have the mental capacity to be able to be a little bit patient. Again, so we've already had breakfast, and she's actually not digging these treats. But for some reason, she's still working for me. And that's kind of awesome. Is it pretty good? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is this? You're just such a little girl. Now, don't take her as the typical, because the problem is whenever we breed these crossbreeds, these little baby crossbreeds at least, again, they were always considered to be little babies and always treated as such. So their parents are going to be also. What that does is generally genetically breeds dogs that are a little bit harder to train because it's not in their blood to be trained. Some are, some aren't, but for the most part, her owners have done a great job in socializing her and desensitizing her that she's easy to train. As far as origin goes, these guys kind of started really becoming popular in about the 1990s. I'm sure that they were before that, and like in the 80s and probably beyond that. I'm not a professional with these guys. I don't actually own one. We're just boarding this little girl. And she's so pretty. For the past week, she's been a great part of the Three Moons family. And so from there, they've actually been pretty popular. They're not registered by the AKC, but there are plenty of other breed clubs that you can join that will recognize these guys. Just make sure you get with a reputable breeder. You know, sometimes people, backyard breeders are still very prevalent with these little ones. And as far as lifespan, 13 to 15 years is pretty average. I mean, little dogs, I'm sure my cousin had a Dachshund mix that lived to be 18, 19 years old. I know other people have had much longer dogs, so just 13 to 15 years, about it, as long as you keep up with the nutritional needs. Another interesting thing about these Chorkies is that their head and their way that they're built and the symmetries and such, they can be born with a soft spot essentially in their head from the Chihuahua side. So just be careful whenever they're growing. It's kind of like a soft spot in a baby. So just be careful with their head as they're growing. It's gonna get harder. It's gonna cover up just like a baby. So yeah, just be careful with that and all the good things. Again, the Yorkshire Terrier is actually a really cool dog. If you can get it started at 8 weeks and older, training, rules, boundaries, limitations, expectations, consistency, you're gonna have an amazing dog. It's fearless, it's loyal, it's gonna be everything you want. Just don't expect it to walk 5 miles with you because it'll be walking 15. It's basically you're going a marathon. But hey, still, they're awesome apartment dogs if you can get past the potty training and be consistent with that. And in general, if you get them started, again, they're amazing. I'll stop them. All right, guys. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Say bye.